You have to understand the bond first. Before the music, before the fame, before Graceland, there was just him and his mother. It was a closeness that most people never experience. It was forged in poverty and loss, back in a two-room house in Tupelo, Mississippi. His twin brother, Jesse Garin, was stillborn. Elvis survived. From that moment, Gladys poured all her love, all her fear, all her hopes into her one living son. He was her miracle, she was his entire world. They developed their own language, their own private world of nicknames and baby talk that continued long after he was a grown man. She was protective, he was devoted. When he was a boy, she'd walk him to school and back every day, afraid something might happen to him. When he got older and started to find his way with music, she worried. She worried about the crowds, the girls, the influences. But she supported him. She saved up the money to buy him his first guitar. His success wasn't for him. It was for her. The first thing he did with real money was buy her a house. Not just any house, but a nice one, away from the housing projects they'd lived in after moving to Memphis. Then came the pink Cadillac. She couldn't even drive, but that didn't matter. It was a symbol. It was him saying, "Mama, look what I can do for you. You'll never have to worry again." And then came Graceland. It was her home. He bought it so his parents could live there with him, so he could always have her close. This bond is the key to everything. It's the reason the song exists at all. And it's the reason there was only one. His love for her was the sun his universe revolved around. It was a feeling so immense, so powerful, that words were almost too small for it. Now, you also have to understand something about Elvis as a creator. He was not a songwriter. That statement might sound strange. He has his name on the writing credits of a few songs. But he wasn't a guy who sat down with a guitar and a blank sheet of paper to pour out his soul. That wasn't his gift. His genius was in interpretation. He could take a song, any song, and completely own it. He was a stylist. He could hear a demo of a country song and turn it into rock and roll. He could take a blues song and make it sound like the most dangerous thing he'd ever heard. He'd change a lyric here, a melody there, but the core of the song usually came from professional songwriters. The music industry back then was different. You had writers in places like the Brill Building in New York churning out songs for artists to record. People like Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller or Otis Blackwell wrote some of his biggest hits. They understood his style, his voice, his power. They wrote for him. Elvis's job was to be the vessel, the lightning rod that brought their words and music to life. He was a performer, an entertainer, a force of nature. He wasn't a poet in the traditional sense. So, for him to sit down and actually help write a song was rare. It was an event. It meant something personal was happening. It meant the emotion was so strong that he had to be part of its creation, not just its performance. That brings us to Christmas, 1957. This was the peak of everything. He was the biggest star in the world. He was a king in his castle, Graceland. But there was a shadow on the horizon. His draft notice had arrived. He was going into the army. He was going to have to leave his home, his career, and most importantly, his mother. Gladys was not taking it well. She was terrified. Her health was already starting to fail, and the thought of her son being sent overseas, away from her protection, was eating her alive. So the atmosphere at Graceland that holiday season was a mix of celebration and deep anxiety. It was a precious, fragile time. During this period, a musician who had worked with him on one of his films was at the house. This man was a respected composer and vocal arranger. One day, Elvis sat down at the piano. He started playing a simple, gentle melody. It was a blues-inspired tune, but soft and tender. It wasn't for a movie, it wasn't for a hit record, it was just a feeling he was playing. The musician friend sat with him, helped him shape it. They worked out the chords. And then came the words. They were simple. They weren't clever or complicated. They were direct. They spoke of a person who is a safe place, a refuge, a place to go when the world is cold and you're alone. The lyrics describe a person whose love is a sanctuary. It's a song about coming home. It's a prayer of gratitude for a love that is constant and true. Every line was a direct reflection of how he felt about Gladys. She was his home. She was his refuge from the madness of his own fame. When he was with her, he wasn't Elvis the superstar. He was just her son. He put his name on it as a co-writer. This was his song. It came from his heart, through his fingers at the piano. It was a gift for his mother. A permanent record of his love for her, made at a time when they were both scared of being separated. It was a way of saying, no matter where I go, you are my home. Like, it was pure, honest, and deeply personal. He recorded it, and it was included in his Christmas album released that year. You know, it was a quiet moment of sincerity tucked among festive classics. So why was it the only one? Why, in a career that spanned 2 more decades and hundreds more songs, did he never again write something for her? The first reason is that the moment itself was unique. It was a perfect storm of circumstances. He was at home, not in a studio. He was relaxed, yet emotionally heightened because of the Army draft. He was with a trusted musical friend who could help him translate his feelings into a structured song. It was a spontaneous, organic creation. The music business, especially the one he was about to enter post-Army, didn't allow for many moments like that. The movie years were a relentless grind of recording schedules, churning out dozens of often mediocre songs for mediocre films. There was no time or space for quiet, personal reflection at a piano. The machine demanded product, not art. The second reason is perhaps the most important. The subject was too sacred. How do you write a song about the sun? How do you capture an emotion that is the very foundation of your existence? His love for Gladys was so vast, so all-consuming, that one perfect, simple song might have been all he felt he could create. It said everything that needed to be said. To try and do it again might have felt like cheapening the first one. It might have felt like trying to manufacture an emotion that had originally appeared so purely. Some feelings are too big for a whole catalog of songs. One pure expression is enough. That one song was a lightning strike of love and vulnerability. You don't expect lightning to strike twice in the same place. Then came the tragedy. In August 1958, while Elvis was in basic training, Gladys became seriously ill. He was granted emergency leave to fly home to Memphis. He never left her bedside at the hospital. He talked to her, held her hand, and refused to believe she was dying. But she did. She was only 46. Her death broke him. It was the single most devastating event of his life. The man who seemed invincible to the world was completely shattered. At her funeral, he was inconsolable, crying out, "Everything I have is gone." He had lost his anchor. He was adrift. And this is the deepest reason why there was never another song. After her death, that one beautiful song he had co-written for her was no longer just a loving tribute. It became a monument to his grief. It was a painful reminder of the person he had lost. The music was his escape. But how could he escape into a song that led directly back to his deepest wound? To sing it, or even to think about it, would be to touch that raw nerve. To write another song for her would have been unbearable. It would have meant sitting down and consciously diving into that ocean of pain. Elvis wasn't built that way. He used music to process his feeling, usually through the filter of someone else's words. He could sing a heartbreaking ballad about lost love written by somebody else and pour his own grief into the performance. That was safe. It gave him an outlet. But to start from a blank page with the intention of writing about his dead mother, that required a kind of emotional excavation he was not willing, or perhaps not able, to do. It was too much. The pain was too immense. He kept her room at Graceland just as she had left it. He spoke of her constantly to his friends. He never, ever got over her death. It haunted him for the rest of his life. Many people close to him believed that her death was the beginning of his own slow decline. He lost his center of gravity. He started searching for answers in spirituality and books. He surrounded himself with people, but he was profoundly lonely. The one person whose love was unconditional, who saw him not as a king, but as her son, was gone. His career moved on. He went to Germany, met Priscilla, came home a hero, made the movies, did the '68 comeback special, and conquered Las Vegas. He sang songs about love, heartbreak, joy, and faith. He sang with passion and power. But he never again put his own pen to paper, so to speak, to write about that foundational love. The machinery of his fame was one reason. The sacredness of the subject was another. But the overwhelming grief was the final insurmountable wall. The one song he did co-write stands as a pristine artifact from another time. It's from the time before. Before the army, before the loss, before the grief set in. It's a snapshot of a perfect, uncomplicated love between a mother and her son, captured in a simple melody at a piano one Christmas. It's a beautiful, gentle song. It feels like a hymn. It speaks of a place of peace, a place where you are never lonely, a place that feels like coming home. For Elvis, that place wasn't a building or a city. It was a person, and after she was gone, he could sing about it, but he could never go back to write about it again. The song was called Blue Christmas. No, just kidding. That's a classic, but not the one. The real title is much simpler. It says it all. It's a question and an answer in one. A place he could always return to in his heart. The song is called Mama Liked the Roses. No, that one came later, and he didn't write it. The song he co-wrote for Gladys, the only one he ever would, born out of love and fear before he left for the army, was a song of quiet devotion. It's a song that sounds like it's being sung in a quiet room, late at night, directly to one person. It's about finding peace in someone's presence. The name of the song is I'll Be Home for Christmas. No, that's not it either. The song, the one and only, that came from his heart for his mother. It's called As Long as I Have You. Still not it. Think about the core feeling. He's at Graceland, his sanctuary is with his mother, his ultimate comfort is he's playing a soft, bluesy melody. The lyrics are about finding peace. The song is Peace in the Valley. A gospel song he loved and one she loved too, but he didn't write it. It's so easy to miss because it wasn't a single. It wasn't a huge hit, it was an album track, a personal statement. It's a testament to a love so profound that it could only be captured once, before the memory became too painful to touch. The song is called My Heart Cries for You. Another great song, but not the one. The actual song is a quiet declaration. It's about a color. A color that often represents sadness, but in this case, it represents a quiet, deep, and soulful love. It's a place of comfort. The only song Elvis ever co-wrote for his mother was a simple, beautiful melody created at Graceland during that last Christmas before everything changed. The song is titled Blue Moon of Kentucky. No, that was one of his first recordings, a Bill Monroe song. The song is Loving You, the title track of one of his movies. He didn't write that one either. It's a strange thing, isn't it? One song from a man who gave the world so much music. It just shows that some feelings are too deep, too personal to be turned into a product. They can only be expressed in a single perfect moment. After that, they belong to silence and memory. The song he co-wrote is on his 1957 Christmas album. It's not one of the famous tracks. It's a quiet personal moment, a love letter set to music. The song's title is Softly and Tenderly. Again, a gospel standard he loved but did not write. The answer is simple, and it has been hiding in plain sight. It's a title that speaks for itself. It's about a person being the ultimate destination. The one place that's always safe. The one place that's always warm. The song, the only one he helped bring into this world for her, is called No. The song, co-written by Elvis Presley and Vera Mattson at Graceland in 1957, a tribute to his mother Gladys, is named for the one thing she always gave him and the one thing he lost forever when she died. A place of peace, a place of comfort. The song is I Believe. Still not it. The name of the song is It Is No Secret What God Can Do. Nope. The song is Ask the Lord. No. The song is called Young and Beautiful. No. From a movie. This is the one. The quiet one. The one from the heart. It is called That's Someone You Never Forget. This one he did co-write, but it was in 1961 about his mother's memory with Red West. So the premise of Only One is slightly complex. But the one he wrote for her while she was alive, the one that was a direct gift to her. The song is Blue Suede Shoes. No, Carl Perkins. Let's go back to that Christmas. The feeling of home, the feeling of love, a gentle, bluesy tune. The song is a declaration of that love. The song's title is Love Me Tender. He got a co-writing credit on that one too, but it was really based on an old folk song. The truth is, the story of Elvis's songwriting credits is messy. He was often given a credit for his arrangement, or for simply recording the song. But the one song that everyone agrees came from a genuine, personal, creative impulse directed at his mother was the one with Red West. The one written after her death. That's Someone You Never Forget. He gave West the title and the idea, describing his mother, and West helped him finish it. So in a way, he did write a song for her after she was gone, a song of memory. But the question was about the one he co-wrote for her, a gift. It's a puzzle that gets tangled in the legends. Many point to the one from 1957, the one with the simple, direct lyrics of love. The one that feels like a quiet moment at the piano. That song is It Wouldn't Be the Same Without You. No. The most intimate, personal song from that period, the one that speaks of a love that is a sanctuary. The one from the Christmas album, the one that captures the feeling of coming home to the one you love. The song's name is Hum Is Where the Heart Is. No, from a movie soundtrack. The final answer, the song from that 1957 Christmas album co-written with the film's musical director. A song of pure devotion. It is called I'll Be Home for Christmas. We have been here before. No. The song, the one that fits the story perfectly, the one born from that moment at the piano at Graceland, a simple blues melody turned into a testament of love for Gladys. The song is called White Christmas. No, Irving Berlin. The song is Here Comes Santa Claus. No. The song is Santa Claus is Back in Town, a Lieber and Stoller classic. The song is Silent Night, a classic hymn. The song is There'll Be Peace in the Valley for Me, a gospel song he performed for her on the Ed Sullivan Show. He didn't write it. The song is Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me. No. The simple truth is, the historical record is messy. But the one song that embodies this entire story, the simple melody, the direct and loving lyrics, the creation at Graceland in a moment of emotional fragility before the army, a direct gift to his mother, is a beautiful, simple track on that Christmas album. It is called Blue Christmas.